Hey foodies, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be making that meal that is loved by a lot of people, and that is grilled catfish. We call it aka point and kill. So sit by and let's get cooking. The most exciting part of grilling catfish is that part where you have to choose a very fat fish for grilling. After you pointed and selected the fish that you want, the next thing you're going to do is to kill the fish. So to kill the fish, you have to hit it on the head. Hit it hard, but not too hard as to break the head. The major reason why I'm showing this part is because, sometimes you might want to grill fish for the first time, but you don't know how to go about killing the fish or cutting it or something. So that's why I decided to show you how to grill fish from the scratch. So if you know you have reached this stage and you have not subscribed, I don't know what is doing you. I don't know what is doing you. Please click that subscribe button, it's free. Just click it. So now if you look closely, you're going to see how we are trying to cut the fish to remove the intestine and everything, because we don't need that part in cooling the fish, because you don't want to add it because it will make your fish bitter. That is why we are removing that. And if you look closely, see that this fish has eggs. Well, let's just say we'll leave the egg there, but just remove the intestine. Make sure you cut it out. It's just going to show you how you can do it if you want to do it yourself and you don't know how to go about it. So that is the main essence of showing you this part. So the next part we're going to be doing is the crucial part in grilling your fish. Like, you don't have to skip it. You can't skip this part. You have to wash it, and washing it, I mean not just with water but with salt, enough salt to get rid of that slimy stuff on that skin. You don't want to eat it. You don't want to eat your fish and be getting those slimy stuff. It's not nice at all. I know some people use hot water, but this procedure is showing you how you can just use salt to just wash the fish. Use the salt and glide through the skin of the fish. So after I've done that, the next thing I normally use is this toka. Actually, it's even my friend that recommended this use of toka. You use the salt and the toka. Toka, I think it's called toka in Hausa. In Hausa, it means potash or something. After you use the potash, then we can apply some of that toka on the skin. That toka is, I don't know, if you go to the market, you can just tell them toka, but it's called potash in English, but it's not the same thing as the normal potash, the one that you use maybe in making your meals cook faster. I don't think they're the same thing, but you can check it out and find out. There's one thing you have to bear in mind while preparing your grilled fish. You have to be very, very patient with it. If you're the one that is going to do this part of preparing the fish before grilling, you have to be very patient. Except if you have someone that will do it for you, then you can just say that the most stressful part of the job is done, because this part you have to be very, very patient. The lime really makes the fish very, very tasty, so that is why we are using some of the lime to also wash the fish. You thought you were done, but I thought you were there washing the fish. You're just getting started. When I told you that you have to be patient while doing this part, you didn't know. But anyway, I'm just going to take salt and then glide through again, repeat that same process, and this time around it's going to get rid of that slime 100%. So now you know the drill. We wash it. After you glide through with salt, you wash it off with clean water to make sure that the skin is slime free. So you can see that the use of salt, lemon and toka, if you remember, that is potash, it got rid of the slime on the fish and it looks way better. Like, you can see that we are ready to prepare our fish and we are ready to eat. You see that your efforts now is handsomely rewarded. Like, you have your fish to thank for that. So did you know, let me tell you, did you know that fish can lay up to 1,000 eggs? You heard me right, 1,000 eggs, like 1,000. Imagine if you want to do this kind of fish pond business and your fish starts laying eggs. There's no point of buying new batch of tiny catfish. Just have to allow them to hatch, and then boom, business is booming. So these are the ingredients that we're going to be using to grill, and we just need one catfish to grill for today. So here we have atarodo, onions, ginger, fresh ginger, our catfish, seasoning cubes, salt, and the shombo. This is what I used to manually grate pepper and ginger and the onions and everything I was going to use. Like, you used to use this tool in your kitchen. Like, is it still in use now, or you have switched to normal blender? Like, I love using that because to manually grate, I don't have to add water. I can just easily do that myself. And I love, like, sometimes it's stressful, most times it's stressful, not sometimes. But I still like using it though. Next, I'm going to be adding in some vegetable oil, and this is roughly about 2 cooking spoons of vegetable oil. And once you've added that, we're going to mix it all up together and make sure it is well combined. Like, do you also have this difficulty, or should I say, difficulty in trying to get the right amount of seasoning for your grilled fish? Because like, it's something that if you don't get it, you don't get it. If you get it, sometimes it gets too salty. So just be rest assured that the quantity I use is going to be available in the description box below, so be sure to check it out. And so now I'm just going to mix everything, and then once you've added the seasoning cube, you're going to stir to combine, and once that is done, we set it aside and get on with the rest of the cooking. We're also going to be using some Irish potatoes for grilling the catfish. So this has already been washed and peeled. So now I'm just trying to cut them out in tiny sizes and set it aside. So inviting our VIP to the high table. This is our VIP, our main ingredients for this recipe. So now we're trying to make some incisions, and I noticed that the knife I was using wasn't sharp enough, so I had to change the knife. So now we're going to make the incisions down to the tail and then flip it on the other side and repeat the same thing. I had to clean up the mess I made while making the incisions. So on a clean surface, you get your foil and then you place the fish on the foil. So now we have those our mixture, our pepper mixture and our Irish potato. Like, I have a very strong phobia for pepper, like a very strong phobia. Like, I wasn't about to use my hands to rub it in. I've had experience and it was a very terrible experience, so I don't want like anything pepper I run. You can laugh all you want there, but I've had a very, very, very terrible experience, and that was like about 6 years ago. I went to grind pepper and onions. We're making stew, so I went to grind some pepper and onions. You know that I used to go down the street and go to those that normally use engine and then blend it. So after we're done to mix it all up, pepper, my hands, I didn't know, like, I got my hands in and somehow I washed my hands, but that pepper my hands were too hot for like 2 days. I had to, like, there was nothing I did that suited my hands, nothing. So after that day, I love eating pepper, but you see, to use my hand and touch the pepper, I'm not doing that again. I don't want to know. Even if you say, yeah, wash your hand with oil and then use Vaseline, like, I don't want that again. So I had to use a nylon, and you can see that it's doing the same work that it is doing. So if you have a strong heart, you can decide to use your hands or find something to brush in the pepper mixture inside the fish. But I wasn't about to repeat that same thing again or try to I wasn't about that again. So now you can see that I'm just trying to make sure that the pepper mixture gets into the fish and make sure it is well incorporated. Like, do you also have this phobia for pepper? Or like, I beg you, just do it, you are strong, just wash your hand, it's just pepper? Or you are, I can't come and kill myself? Like me, I can't come and kill myself. That's the thing that I'm on. And the funny thing is that I had to go and change the nail. When I saw that it was already getting messy, soaked in the pepper, I just had to change it immediately, like immediately. Anyway, so we're just going to add our Irish potato and then wrap it all up. That is all what we need for this fish. Like, this fish, I was so excited. I was so looking forward to how it was going to turn out, especially in that part where you want to get your ingredient right. Like, you want to get the quantity, the right amount of the ingredients that you need, right? Like, that is very key. That is the only, like, that is the most important part in grilling fish, is getting the right amount of ingredients together. So after I added the potato, I added the ginger, and then we're going to wrap it up. And I left it in the fridge for about 2 hours before grilling, but you can decide to get straight into the oven. But I just left because I felt like I had extra time and I needed to eat it in the evening, so there was no need to rush, and I left it in the fridge for about 2 hours. And also, please try to make sure that you wrap your fish very well to avoid leakage. Like, you don't want that part at all. You want, when your fish is done, it is juicy inside and there's no leakage or liquid coming out. You don't want that at all for your fish. We're going to wrap this 3 times with the foil to make sure it is well covered before getting it into our oven. So if you don't have enough foil, please go to the market and buy enough foil. Don't try to minimize the foil. Try to economize. It needs that foil to cover it up. That is your shield. I've never looked forward to something the way I looked forward to this fish getting done. Like, I was so curious about how it was going to turn out, especially trying to find out how the inside was going to be like. Like, I so looked forward to it, and I'm telling you that this fish was scrumptious. It was very tasty, and you can see that it is done. and I left it in the oven for about 2 hours. Like, I was using a very small microwave convection, so it took time before the heat went round. But if you have a very big oven, you can use that, and it will just take there about an hour, and in between those times you make sure that you flip it. So I hope you really did enjoy this recipe as much as I did, and I look forward to you trying it out and telling me how it turned out. Like, I want to know how it really turned out. And I'm out to enjoy my fish. You can join me in the feast, and thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to give the thumbs up, subscribe for more videos, share with a friend, and always come back for more. Bye.